Sweaty cup. Alrighty. D is for definition. We talked about the couple real life examples from that challenge he did for the guys gunning for the free ticket, round trip ticket to anywhere in the world. A couple Princeton students and what they did, how they contacted hard to contact people. Questions and actions. The existential vacuum manifests itself mainly in a state of boredom. Viktor Frankl, Auschwitz survivor and founder of logotherapy, man's search for meaning. So, mainly in a state of boredom is where you'll see the existential vacuum, just the black hole for your mind, basically. Life is too short to be small. Benjamin Disraeli. Get the most out of every day. I'm with you. Dreamlining will be fun, and it will be hard. The harder it is, the more you need it. To save time, I recommend using the automatic calculators and forms at www.4hourblog.com. And 4 is spelt out F-O-U-R. Refer to the model worksheet on page 60 as you complete the following steps. Number 1, what would you do if there was no way you could fail? If you were 10 times smarter than the rest of the world? Create 2 timelines, 6 months and 12 months. List up to 5 things you dream of having, including but not limited to material wants, house, car, clothing, etc. Being, be a great cook, be fluent in Chinese, etc. And doing, visiting Thailand. I knew I loved me some Timmy. Tracing your roots overseas, racing ostriches, okay, etc. So in that order, having, what material things would make you happy to have, like a nice house or a nice car or boat, whatever. Being, you want to become, you want a skill set, you want to add a skill set to what you already have, purely for fun, not for business or money. Although it could lead to that, of course. And doing, visiting places, he mentions Thailand, but any, whatever's on your bucket list, if you've thought about a bucket list. What would you want to do? Who would you want to be? Like, what skills would you like to have? And what would you like to own? What would you like to have? Because right now, I think a lot of people define success just by what you have. And then they get those things, and it doesn't bring them happiness. Once again, when I moved here, right, to Thailand, I brought 2 suitcases and 4 guitars. I owned a lot more stuff than that, a 3,000 square foot house full of stuff, and I left it all behind. Stuff doesn't really mean anything, but I spent my whole life acquiring it because that's what I thought would make me happy. That's what I thought was success was. So, yeah. But once again, I told you about working at Bank of America and being a zombie, working overtime, doing emails and stuff, 7:30 at night, coming out on a Friday night, just exhausted and wiped. And at the time I took the job, I had a Toyota Tacoma truck, like a basic little 4-cylinder truck, not a nice truck at all, not luxury truck, cloth seats, might have even been a manual, I don't remember. But it was a standard model Tacoma, just a truck, And when I worked there and made some coin, I got a Corvette. Now, I was just as tired the Friday after I got the Corvette, but walking out into that parking lot and seeing that beautiful black Corvette, the Batmobile I called it, made it worth it. Like, that was worth killing myself to me. Not indefinitely, not for 20 years, but at that time I remember walking out into the parking lot on another Friday night late when everybody else was gone and seeing that car in the parking lot. I'm like, okay, I get why I'm working so hard. I get why I'm putting in the hours, because that material good made me feel good. I felt good driving it home. I felt good seeing that in the parking lot and knowing it's mine. So, limited doses, like he says. Think about what you'd want. I wanted a Corvette. I got one. And at the time, it made me happy. Well, the car's long since gone now. I didn't bring it. I had the BMW, which I liked also. We talked about the Fat Man and the BMW. I also loved the BMW, just like I loved the Corvette, but they gone. And here I am, and I'm having a blast, and I'm very, very happy. Happier than I've been my whole life. And that's just because I'm here in Thailand. So, yeah. There is that. Ostriches. Oh, don't know where that came from. If you have difficulty identifying what you want in some categories, as most will, consider what you hate or fear in each and write down the opposite. Good idea. So, if you're having trouble coming up with the goodie, think what you don't want and then look at what's 180 degrees from that. Do not limit yourself and do not concern yourself with how these things will be accomplished. For now, it's unimportant. This is an exercise in reversing repression. Be sure not to judge or fool yourself. If you really want a Ferrari, don't put down solving world hunger at a guilt. For some, the dream will be fame. For others, fortune or prestige. All people have their vices and insecurities. If something will improve your feeling of self-worth, put it down. Just talked about the Corvette. That's what it did. It improved my feeling of self-worth. It made me feel like the hard work was worth it. Whether that's true or not, it's a different story, but that's how I felt at the time. Put it down. I have a racing motorcycle, and quite apart from the fact that I love speed, it just makes me feel like a cool dude. Well, there you go. Timmy has a possession. See, I'm glad he's being honest and opened up because, he comes off all, sitting in the lotus position on a cloud giving advice. And yeah, at the end of the day, he loves fast motorcycles. So he has one. He has a racing motorcycle. There's nothing wrong with that. Put it all down. There you go. Good. I'm glad he put that in there. Number 2, drawing a blank. For all their bitching about what's holding them back, most people have a lot of trouble coming up with the defined dreams they're being held from. This is particularly true with the doing category. In that case, consider these questions. A, what would you do day to day if you had $100 million in the bank? B, what would make you most excited to wake up in the morning to another day? Don't rush. Think about it for a few minutes or a few hours. You got time. If still blocked, fill in the 5 doing spots with the following. 1 place to visit. 1 thing to do before you die. Make your memory for a lifetime. 1 thing to do daily. 1 thing to do weekly. 1 thing you've always wanted to learn. Some skill set. Cooking is a big one. Dancing, just something that you've liked since you were younger, but you never had the time for, or thought it was silly to waste time or money investing into do. 3, what does being entail doing? Convert each being into a doing to make it actionable. Identify an action that would characterize this state of being or a task that would mean you had achieved it. People find it easier to brainstorm being first, but this column is just a temporary holding spot for doing actions. Here are a few examples. Great cook. Make Christmas dinner without help. Fluent in Chinese. Have a 5-minute conversation with a Chinese coworker. So there's where he's taking this idea, the being, I want to be a great cook. Well, what's that look like? How do you make that happen? Go to culinary school. Right? That's a good way to become a great cook. Watch a shitload of YouTube videos and actually make the dishes in the YouTube videos. There's guys out there who are amazing cooks. Like Mexican Rick Bayless. He has a bunch of YouTube videos. Jacques Pepin, amazing chef. He just watch this thing on making an omelet. Like make the perfect fucking omelet. That's a great. In a lot of New York City restaurants, when a cook was coming for a job, the chef would say, make me some eggs, because eggs are very simple, very easy to do, but very hard to do consistently well. So they could tell a chef by how good an omelet he makes, or scrambled eggs, how he treats eggs. It's a very simple dish, but there's a lot of technique to make a very good egg dish. So, yeah. Just like I said, there's giants out there. There's guys who are amazing chefs, and just watch a YouTube video and make the dish. And if you fuck it up the first time, do it again. It's fun. You should be having fun. It's not work. If you feel like it's work, cooking or baking, then that's not really your dream. You really don't want to do it. I love cooking, but I don't like cooking for others. I found when I've owned restaurants that cooking for other people does not make me happy. It makes me fucking miserable. But cooking for my friends and family and myself, I love. So I separate the two. What are the 4 dreams? Number 4. What are the 4 dreams that would change it all? Using the 6-month timeline, Star or otherwise highlight the 4 most exciting and or important dreams from all columns. Repeat the process with the 12-month timeline if desired. So now kind of pick the top, prioritize. Number 5, determine the cost of these dreams and calculate your target monthly income, TMI. There you go. So instead of too much information now, we got TMI, meaning your target monthly income for both timelines. So for a specific dream, I want to become a better cook. What does culinary school cost if you decide to go that route? What do the ingredients cost? What are better pots and pans cost? And keep in mind to start out, of course, you don't need better pots and pans. That's sort of like I talked about people starting a business and they buy the office furniture and get the cards printed up and buy the printer and, get the office desk and the nice office chair because it feels good and it's easy. But that's not starting the business. It's just getting office furniture. So make sure you don't say, I want to cook, and then just go out and buy a bunch of cooking shit. Oh, I need a silicone mat, Silpat. Oh, I need a fucking bunt pan mold. I need a knife. I need a $300 German knife. No, you don't. You don't need any of that to cook. You're just switching, buying things for, doing something. Buying cooking materials is not cooking. Right, so, do you need a knife? Yes, but you don't need a $300 Japanese knife or German knife. That comes later. That's down the road, right? If financeable, what is the cost per month? Remember I talked about the girl with the $50,000 baht bank loan, and I said, what's the payment? Because it's the payment that you got to care about. The payment is the problem, not the bank loan. So if something costs $50,000 US, you don't have to have $50,000. You just need the first month's payment to get started, and then you'll figure it out. Second month, third month, you'll get it. The money will come. I promise you. Take a leap of faith into the pool. So if financeable, what is the cost per month for each of the 4 dreams? Rent, mortgage, payment plan, installments, etc. Start thinking of income and expense in terms of monthly cash flows, dollars in and dollars out, instead of grand totals. Don't worry about the 50 grand or the 100 grand. Worry about how much is it per month. You break it down that way, it becomes infinitely more achievable. Dollars in, dollars out instead of grand total. Things often cost much, much less than expected. For example, a Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, fresh off the showroom floor at $260,000, can be had for $2,897.80 per month. I found my personal favorite, an Aston Martin DB9 with 1,000 miles on it, through eBay for $136,000, only $2,003.10 per month. So when you say only, okay, most of us had car payments of $400 on $200, depending on if it's a used car. Okay, gotcha. So he's talking 10 times that much, $2,000. But if you think about it, that's pretty reasonable for that kind of car. For a supercar like that, $2,000 a month. Some people make mortgage payments. Quite a few people make mortgage payments at $2,000 a month. So it's doable. You need more income, which once again he gets to in the book. So the unreachable, $250,000 car, when you break it down into $2,800 a month, it's all of a sudden reachable. That's his point. How about a round-the-world trip? Los Angeles to Tokyo to Singapore to Bangkok to Delhi or Bombay to London to Frankfurt to Los Angeles for $1,400, $1,399. That sounds worth it. I would do that trip. For some of these costs, the tools and tricks at the end of chapter 14 will help you. All right, so that we have to wait till chapter 14 to get to the income part. But this is all preliminary. This is all good stuff. This lays the foundation. Last, calculate your targeted monthly income for realizing these dreamlines. This is how you do it. First, total each of the columns, A, B, and C, counting only the 4 selected dreams, the 4 that you starred and brought to the top. Some of these column totals could be 0, which is fine. Next, add your total monthly expenses times 1.3. The 1.3 represents your expenses plus a 30% buffer for safety or savings. Smart. The grand total is your TMI and the target to keep in mind for the rest of the book. I like to further divide this TMI by 30 to get my TDI, target daily income. So he breaks down his monthly requirement to see what he has to make per day. I find it easier to work with a daily goal. Online calculators on our companion site do all the work for you and make the step a cinch. So there you go. Just go to that 4hourblog.com site. Chances are that the figure is lower than expected, especially when you break it down by day. So what was that? Aston Martin, $2,000 a month. So divide that by 30. 30 goes into 20, 6 times, right? 18. So that'd be 1,800, and then another 200. So another 18. So 19. So 190 a day, $190 a day. I mean, that's like fucking. It's not a cup of coffee, but once again, you're talking about an Aston Martin DB9. I mean, it's like when you break it down daily as opposed to even monthly or yearly, it starts to feel like it's in reach. Can you generate $190 a day? Yeah, probably. I think you can. Make this step a sense. Chances are figures lower than expected. And it often decreases over time as you trade more and more having for once in a lifetime doing. Yeah, it doesn't cost as much to have experiences as it does to buy things. Crap. Mobility encourages this trend. Even if the total is intimidating, don't fret in the least. I have helped students get to more than $10,000 per month in extra income within 3 months. Shit, I really do need to read this book again. I'm sitting here in Thailand going, I'm good. Well, shit, yeah, if I generate $10K a month, I'll be more than good. Be living in a fucking McMansion down on the beach somewhere on an island. All right, so here's the targeted monthly income worksheet. Once again, 4-hour blog has the calculator stuff online, but this is just an example of him writing it out and making goals. You should absolutely do this, guys. Don't just listen to the video. Don't just read the book, but go ahead and put pen to paper. It's a lot more powerful when you put pen to paper. So, I'm not your teacher and there is no homework, but I strongly recommend that you go ahead and do that. And then that's it. We're already in at 17 minutes, so I'll finish up there and do the Dreamline math, another good option, and step 6 and all that tomorrow. Once again, trying to keep these under 20 minutes. So far I've been doing an okay job at it, but today we're close, almost 18 minutes. So do it, write it down, star the 4, figure out the TMI, use the calculators if you need to on the website. Once again, this is more meat and potatoes. We're actually doing things this year as opposed to last year where it's just trying to get your head right. And I didn't plan this. I liked doing the videos last year. This book impacted me like Napoleon Hill Think and Rich impacted me. So hope you're getting benefit from it. I am. I mean, when he talked about $10,000 a month income, U.S., in 3 months, I've got to reread that. I might cheat and read ahead because it's so cheap to live here that I came with a lot less than $10,000 a month income, but I'm very comfortable because it's so cheap to live here. But the point is, if I could generate easily, remotely, which is what he's all about, an extra, $5,000 a month, that has a not a linear effect, but a geometric effect. Like that makes my lifestyle here even better than it already is. So that would be cool too, because we talk about accountability and all that stuff, and obviously if I do the techniques that he says in the book, I'll tell you how it's going. I'll be honest with you, the car business that I started here, buy and sell cars, I'm still driving the truck. I mean, it's $500,000. I lowered it to $475,000, but COVID, third wave, Delta strain, whatever, it's not selling. And I knew it would take some time because $500,000 baht is a lot of money in Thailand. 15 grand in US, it's not bad. I would have sold that truck in a month in America for that price. But here it's harder to come by $500,000 baht. So it's taken time. I still have one bike too. I sold one of the two bikes. I still have the more expensive bike. Once again, 50,000, 55,000 baht for a bike. Not everybody can afford that. You know, a Thai couple, a well-to-do Thai couple, bought my 30,000 baht bike, right? Not the 55. That's high end. That's somebody who's looking for that bike specifically. So I got to be patient. But as a result, I can't say it's a viable business because I'm not getting income monthly from it. So I am looking to start another gig, a new gig, in addition to the rentals I have and money coming in from America. So, oh shit, I hit 20 minutes. Fuck me. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Talk to you later.